Great. Good morning. It is time to do a couple of things with the 1140. First things first, we're going to pop this side flywheel off again because it's relatively quick and easy to do. And I'm going to, when it's off, we'll have access to the oil pump area, I think. But I'm thinking about putting a bigger seal, or a seal in that hole where this flywheel, or where this side of the crank comes out. So the other thing is that the flywheel being out of the way will make it easier to get at the oil filter and stuff, because that's also mounted on this side of the engine. And I have run this quite a bit with a lot of oil in it, but I have not yet opened the filter jar to see if anything came out in the filter area. So go. This is an 8mm nut. I don't know if I said that the last time I had this off, but alright. With the nut there. The nut gives us just enough to press on after I tapped it loose the last time. But if it hadn't popped off there again, I could have just grabbed a hammer and given it a light wrap again. I think as I mentioned the last time, when you do this, you gotta make sure you don't bang the threads over, so put the nut on there to protect the threads. Now, I think, I don't know which of these two caps is which, because I promptly put the instructions away, and let's see, this is just a decorative cap, it looks like. It's threaded and there's a hole and nothing to it. But since we're busy taking stuff off this side of the engine and poking around, we'll just leave that decorative piece off of there. Also pull this side cover off again because, as I mentioned before, I think I'm going to try and put a seal in here, and I'll want to have access to the back of this cover for making and installing that seal. Haven't quite decided what that seal could be. That's a kind of spot where, like, in the old days they would have used leather or felt to make a seal like that. And of course modern seals are rubber and silicone and stuff like that, but who knows? We'll make that decision after we've poked around a little bit here. I also, since I had fuel issues with it last time and need to clean the fuel system out, taking the flywheel off makes it much easier to access the fuel line for popping this fuel line off when we take the carburetor off to clean out the fuel line. So and since I have this off, I might polish the inside of this brass piece. Not that it's super important, but it could be done. Here's that O-ring that's carefully put in there as a seal, and then after it's been crushed in there for a while, it becomes a very nice little gasket. Now, not trying to, this Q-tip, I'm just sort of pushing it in there, because if you twist around in there, you'll end up pulling bits of the fluff off, and then you'll have stuff like that just snagged on there. We don't want to put any goo and extra stuff in the engine, so alright, let's tip this. So this hole is another screw, a mounting screw, presumably for this whole side assembly. And then the cam here drives the, or rather the crankshaft here drives the cam, and this is our oil pump, I believe, because the it's supposed to be a cam-driven oil pump. Unless it's down below. Oh wait, here's the cap down below. I guess I don't know what the top cover is. Oh, it's got the magnet in it for the ignition sensor. That's what the top cover here is, because the ignition sensor goes there. Alright, well, let's pull this piece off. This must be where our oil filter is. Yep. So there's a tube there, seal, and then inside here is our filter medium. And let's this is just a piece of foam, and there are a few specks of metal inside this cover. But I don't know how to clean this foam element. Well, let's try something clever. See if I can rub this element on a magnet. Oh. All right. Rub that element on a magnet. Put our filter back on. All right. That is... We've cleaned the oil filter. I think that next I'm going to get the fuel system off and clean the fuel system out.